Let's talk about ICP, guys, and when I believe that the best time is to sell ICP in order to maximize profits, minimize loss, and to spare your mental health being this guy here and being absolutely frustrated, making the wrong trade and losing your job. So none of us want that to happen to any of us, but when we look at ICP, guys, do need to mention that is a coin which I'm not currently in at the moment, but it's a coin which I'm observing and looking at. And I was in ICP during the bear market back in 2022. I accumulated a little bit, ended up selling some of it in 2024 and funneling that into some other coins, but I still believe that this coin has got a lot of potential as we head towards the full-blown alt season that a lot of us are waiting out for. So before we jump into the core of the video, guys, just need to make a quick disclaimer. Please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky. No results are guaranteed. This content is for experienced users only, and there's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. So with ICP, guys, where is it at the moment? So I've got this. It's currently sitting at around about the $4.70 mark, and it's got a relatively low market cap of around 2.5 billion, to me indicating that it's got a lot of room to grow, and is a coin which is ranked at 46th biggest in the entire industry. So there's a few little points there. The next thing that we need to understand, in my opinion, is Bitcoin dominance and how this is impacting ICP and other altcoins in this cycle. So what we have seen for altcoin holders, which is very, very positive, is the likes of Bitcoin dominance start to decrease. And inversely, we've seen Ethereum dominance start to increase and other coins go up at the same time. So this is really, really positive because it's indicating that the big players who have been holding a lot of Bitcoin are starting to take some profits and funnel them into other coins with the hopes that they can make some more money because they're taking profits from their Bitcoin bags that they've been holding for a while. So here's a visual example which I found online and I've shared on this channel quite a few times now, but it's generally how cycles have all previously worked. Again, there's no guarantee with this at all, but just to show you that money flow generally moves into Bitcoin, which has caused the price surge that we've seen, which is why we've seen Bitcoin all-time high before Ethereum. Once that money flows in, people start to take profits, we start to see the likes of Ethereum start to do very well, which is why very recently, in the last couple months, we've seen Ethereum surpass its previous all-time high. Again, it's because of the money flow and the profit taking. Again, in all the other previous cycles, we have then seen people start to take money from Ethereum and funnel that into the larger caps, which are like the ADAs and the Solanas, etc. We've seen Solana obviously go previously, but a lot of these other altcoins out there start to receive the money, profit taking comes into place, and then we start to see altcoin season into the smaller coins and some memes often. But this is really, really crucial to understand in terms of where we are in the cycle and with a lot of people being frustrated with performance. I want to indicate that we have had the first set of rate cuts in September, which hasn't necessarily moved the market that much at the moment because, again, some of these things can be priced in, but I don't believe that this is a massive rate cut. The more important thing is that we have more rate cuts on the way, and this is very, very important because when we start to have rate cuts, it means that people generally have more ability to borrow money because there's less interest on that, which means that risk on assets such as crypto and stocks are able to increase because people are more willing to borrow money because they don't have to pay back as much interest. And essentially, there's more liquidity in the market, which is really positive. And this is exactly what we saw back in 2021. We saw that along with quantitative easing, which really boosted the market. So in my opinion, if we can get these rate cuts starting to come into place, this is really, really positive for altcoins out there, guys. So understanding this and ultimately that this cycle is operating slightly differently compared to other cycles is very important, but we can only go based off previous data in this sense, and so rate cuts is ideal for creating this environment that will help us with our price action. When it comes to selling, guys, this is really important and we need to understand what are your personal goals. Your goals are going to be completely different to mine. I might want to make a different amount of money than you. You might want to make a different amount of money from me. So it's really important that you have your goals written down and you know that and that it's crystal clear. The next thing is you need to understand, obviously, when you first bought into ICP, because your average is going to be completely different to what mine has been. As well as this, you need to understand, are you going to be needing the money in the short term? Because if you're going to be needing it and you're wanting to make money yesterday, it's going to be very difficult to be able to do this because this is a longer term game. Do you have a long term vision? Do you believe in the cycles and how things are playing out? Do you think it's going to be 3 to 6 months, or 1 year to 2 years? Or are you happy with holding your bag for up to 10 years, right? We're all playing this game slightly differently, and this is so important. I've put together a selling kind of structure that I think might be able to help you, along with holding yourself accountable in order to maximize profits and minimize risk. By no means are these the price predictions set in stone, which I believe that ICP can actually reach, but I just want to illustrate an example of what you can do to have a spreadsheet and help you understand how much money you would like to make and what it visually looks like. Again, you'd have your different sell points, how much ICP that you have left, again, along with all the profits, so you can use that to go ahead and maximize the profits. So it's really important, as well as this, being able to hold yourself accountable, because you want to be able to find a way which is going to sting you if you don't end up selling. You need to potentially talk to your friend and say, look, I'm going to give you $150 if I do not sell at ICP, for example, at $25, at 20% of my chunk out, right? Whatever it is, you can buy them their groceries for a week. Whatever it is, it needs to be painful enough that forces you to actually go and sell and stick to your plan, because emotionality is something which a lot of people struggle with. It's going to be very, very difficult for people, and greed. So it's so important, in my opinion, to have this in place. So let me illustrate to you the 20% layer out method, which is a strategy which I will be applying across all of my crypto investments when I believe that the time comes. Again, it's going to be different to you, but like I mentioned, you've got your table down, you've got your price points written down, and you just follow that structure. The first 20% out will be at that first point. Again, here, most likely, you will have made your initial investment back, and you are essentially free rolling. You've then got your next 20% out here, so you're 40% out. You are starting to be into a reasonable amount of profits, but you've also made all of your initial investment back at the same time. You then scale out another 20% out, another 20% out, and at this point you're 80% of the way out. What you have done is you've managed to sell on the way up, so you've minimized all the risk, and at the same time you've also maximized as much money as possible. And now we have the last 20% out, aka the moon bag, which you can sell at any point you want, because what you've done is you've made money all the way up on the way here. You're 80% of the way out. This one you could sell, and you can make more on this final sell than you've made in the last one or two, or even these two ones combined here, right? The important thing is, it doesn't necessarily matter what happens in the last stage, because you've made all the money on the way up. And I think that this strategy is crucial in order to, again, win, because we're all here to win. All of us here as a community want to do super well and make some money. So hopefully, guys, this has provided you with some value, and thank you very much for watching.